This is Pinyin in a Week. I'm your instructor Betty with YesLingo.com. Introduction Course. So, you've decided to learn Mandarin. Well, first of all, congratulations on making a life-changing decision. Mandarin is the fastest growing language and is sure to be useful in your future. In fact, Hollywood is even recognizing the importance of learning Chinese. In the 2012 hit Looper, which is about time travel and which stars Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Bruce Willis, one man gives a very wise piece of advice. He says, "I'm from the future, and you should go to China." So it looks like going to China and choosing to learn Chinese was a wise decision on your part. And here at YesLingo, we couldn't agree more. So, are you ready to get started? Well, it all begins with Pinyin. In English, we've got spelling, and in Chinese, we've got Pinyin. Did you know that Chinese characters can be spelled out using the English alphabet, all thanks to Pinyin? So, what are these two words here? If you've never read Chinese before, how would you know what these words mean? Okay, so someone could tell you it means hello in Chinese. So now you know what these two words mean, but what about how to read them? And what do these two words even sound like? This is where Pinyin comes into play. Pinyin is the romanization system for spelling out Mandarin words. It's kind of like the International Phonetic Alphabet for Mandarin, and it uses the 26 letters of the alphabet to spell out Chinese words. And for those of us who are new to Mandarin or who are still in the process of learning Mandarin, Pinyin is a really crucial tool to have. So here we can see the Pinyin of these two words. There's ni and hao, ni hao. See how we use letters to spell out the words so that even if you don't recognize the Chinese characters, you could still be able to sound it out based on the Pinyin. And by the end of this series, you'll be able to read this no problem. First, we're going to introduce the general principles of Pinyin, and we'll be referring to these throughout the entire series of lessons. So every Chinese character has a specific syllable, and a syllable is like a word. So let's refer back to the example that we just talked about, ni hao. Notice that these two characters correspond to a syllable. Ni means you, and hao means good. Put together, ni hao means hello. Now, each syllable is composed of three parts. There's the initial, the final, and the tone. And this is really critical to understand for Pinyin. Essentially, every syllable is a word. And here's an equation you can use to understand the concept. So here is our word. This is the syllable that it makes. And the syllable, again, is composed of the initial, the final, and the tone. Now, don't concern yourself with what these characters actually mean for now. The key is that you can see every Pinyin syllable consists of these three components. Now, let's look at this chart together. It shows 4 different Chinese words and their Pinyin. So the first word is ma. This is the Pinyin ma. And you can see that this Pinyin is made of an initial, which is the M, a final, which is the A, and also its tone. In this case, it is the first tone. And so on and so forth for all of these characters. You can see they all follow the exact same pattern. And this system of spelling is called Pinyin. See how it's a really useful tool, especially if you haven't learned the Chinese characters yet. We're going to learn all of these concepts of Chinese Pinyin in a series of 7 lessons that you can complete in 1 week. In the first lesson, we're going to start learning some of the finals. Then we'll get into the initials. And then we're going to get back into some of the more complicated finals. And finally, we'll learn the 5 tones of Mandarin. And to pull it all together at the end, we're going to go over some Pinyin rules and review before you graduate from this course. If you put your mind to it, you'll be able to master Pinyin with YesLingo's lesson in as little as a week. At the end of each lesson, be sure to complete the practice questions at the bottom of the web page. By answering the questions correctly, not only will you be able to get some good practice, you'll also be able to unlock the next class. Thank you for listening, and good luck. I'll see you in our next lesson.